Most hair routines start with the strands. People focus on length, shine, curl definition, or styling techniques. But healthy hair actually begins somewhere else. It begins at the scalp. The scalp is the living environment where hair follicles grow and where the conditions that influence hair density and hair retention develop over time. Understanding the scalp changes the way we think about hair care. Most conversations about hair begin with what we can see. The strands. We talk about length, curl patterns, shine, and styling methods. But hair is not created at the ends of the strands. Hair begins at the scalp. The scalp is the biological environment where thousands of hair follicles produce hair through long growth cycles. Because of this, the health of the scalp environment can influence how hair behaves over time. When the scalp environment remains balanced and calm, follicles are more likely to remain stable. This is the foundation of Scalp-First approach to hair care. The scalp is not simply skin that holds hair. It's a complex biological environment that supports thousands of hair follicles. Each follicle produces a strand of hair through a growth cycle that can last several years. Dermatology research explains that the scalp environment influences how follicles function. Factors such as tension from hairstyles, friction from manipulation, buildup on the scalp, and moisture balance can all affect this environment. When the scalp remains comfortable and balanced, follicles are more likely to maintain stability. Hair care, therefore, begins with understanding the scalp environment. When people notice shedding or changes in hair density that often look for fast solutions. However, hair usually reflects patterns that are developed gradually. Frequent tensions, aggressive detangling, constant manipulation, and heavy installations can slowly influence the hair shaft and the follicles environment. Hair follicles also follow biological cycles. These cycles include a growth phase, a transition phase, and a resting phase. Because of these cycles, hair density and hair retention changes slowly over time. Instead of asking how to make hair grow faster, a more useful question is, how can the scalp environment support stable follicles over time? Another important element of hair longevity is the moisture barrier. Hair strands contain protective cuticle layers that help regulate moisture. When the moisture barrier is balanced, hair can maintain flexibility and strength. This balance helps reduce friction between strands and may lower the risk of breakage. Supporting the moisture barrier usually comes from gentle cleansing, routines, and thoughtful conditioning habits. Hair health is often supported by balance rather than excessive product use. Another important factor influencing hair longevity is tension. Hairstyles that pull tightly on the scalp place repeated stress on hair follicles. Over time, this tension may influence follicle stability and hair retention, and Scalp-First philosophy encourages low tension styling and gentle manipulation. This means asking simple questions about hairstyles. Does the style allow the scalp to remain comfortable? Is the weight of the style distributed evenly? Can the scalp be cleansed easily? Styles that respect these factors are more likely to support long-term hair retention. Hair also evolves over time. As people age, follicles may behave differently. Hair density patterns can shift and texture may change. Gray hair may also appear. A longevity approach respects these natural changes rather than resisting them. Supporting aging hair often means focusing even more on scalp comfort, moisture balance, and gentle routines. Modern beauty culture often encourages urgency. New trends promise rapid transformation or dramatic hair growth. But hair is a slow biological system. Follicles operates on cycles that unfold over months and years. Because of this, calm routines often support hair longevity better than aggressive ones. Healthy hair care habits often include gentle detangling, balanced cleansing, low tension styling, and consistent observation of the scalp. A scalp-first perspective changes the starting point of hair care. Instead of focusing only on the strands, we begin with the environment where the hair actually grows, the scalp. When the scalp environment remains balanced and calm, the hair that grows from it has greater opportunity to remain stable over time. Hair longevity begins where the follicles live, at the scalp.